1, and we're starting the stream. And we'll do our sound check and make sure everybody's all happy. It's going green like always. This is good. All right. All right, guys. Welcome to Tim Black at Night. Welcome to No Sellouts. It's your man Tim Black and my friend H.A. Goodman. H.A. Goodman, say hello to everybody.
Tim Black, what's up?
What up, H.A.? Give it up for H.A. Let us know if you can hear H.A. Goodman.
Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Someone, okay, G. Cooligan says he emailed H.A. Goodman. Lance in the city says, yo, Tim and H.A.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
There you go. Christian Hope, can you hear H.A.?
We hear you. All right.
They hear us. Low Key says they hear us. This is great, man. This is great. H.A. Goodman, my man. What's going on, brother? How was your Easter weekend, brother?
It was great. It was great. It was relaxing. How was yours, Tim?
Dude, it's busy at the house, man, with people home, but it was relaxing like yours, man. It was all good, man. No complaints, you know?
Well, I'm glad that we're not close to World War III, so it's a good time.
Man, I'm not so sure, bro. You sure we're not close
to it? No, I'm being sarcastic. Of course,
okay.
Of course,
okay.
We are close to World War III.
It's crazy.
Not good.
It's crazy, man. What's going on?
Shouldn't have cheated Bernie. Shouldn't have cheated Bernie.
Oh man. Oh, bro.
Everything that happens, my response is shouldn't have cheated Bernie.
Should have cheated Bernie. You didn't look. Is it I don't know, is gas prices too high? Shouldn't have cheated Bernie.
Yeah. My toe hurts. Oh, you shouldn't have cheated Bernie then.
Cheated Bernie.
Exactly.
Maxine Waters having a fit. Shouldn't have cheated Bernie.
Yeah, well, that really, you shouldn't have cheated Bernie.
There it is, bro. No doubt. Oh, just to let the callers know, man, what we're doing tonight is a little bit different. We do have the phone lines open, and what we're going to do is in between segments, we'll take a few phone calls. You know, the phone number is 319-527-6212. That's 319-527-6212. Call in if you want to talk to H.A. Goodman and ask a question. Oh, man.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
This is great.
I always ask, it's not delirious, it's not raw. Where is that from?
That is actually Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got the right actor, though. That's the right guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Charlie Murphy,
man. Charlie Murphy was fantastic. He was amazing.
Man, dude was, just amazing.
He was amazing.
To be able to come out of the shadow of his brother and do his own thing, make his own mark, man.
His Dave Chappelle shirts versus blouses. It was so. It was just so amazing. He really was so talented.
Right. I saw him live once in D.C., man.
Oh, really?
And he was great, bro. And it was yeah, man. It really kind of hit me hard, man. 57 is too young to go, man. So. Yeah, man. And it's ironic, H.A. Prince died at 57 as well.
It's unbelievable. How old was Bernie Mac?
God, I think Bernie was younger than all three of them. Well, he was the youngest of the three.
You shouldn't die in your 50s or 60s nowadays, or 70s, my God. I mean, people are living, till they're 90 plus. So
yeah, the last person born in the 1800s just died, man. He was 117 years old. So give it up for that guy hanging in there. You know what I'm saying? 1800 guys. He was born in 1899, dude. He just died.
Crazy.
So, speaking of dying, H.A. Goodman, what's up with North Korea, man? I heard that these guys are going to be doing missile tests every week or something.
Well, the interesting thing about North Korea is this. So Trump is I'm against what he's doing with the rhetoric and the speech and so we're going to get this right. Even if China doesn't help us, we're going to do it ourselves. So he tweeted that. That's not good. It's not good because you don't know. Kim Jong-un is unpredictable. And also he's sending an armada of, they're calling it armada, a whole bunch of ships, aircraft carriers to the region, to North Korea. The problem, though, is that this is just today. Russia and China are shadowing our navy with their navies, so they're going into the region too, and it's not a good situation. So that's and people need to understand. I don't want North Korea to have nuclear weapons, but the reason that any country wants nuclear weapons is a very famous, really, really interesting international relation theorist named Kenneth Waltz. And he talks about how just people want nuclear weapons so they don't get invaded.
Right.
That's why, Iran probably still has their nuclear program.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why North Korea wants its nuclear program, because they see Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, and they don't want to be next. So it's not that it's definitely not. I don't think because it's kind of a game of chicken. There's really nothing that we're going to do to North Korea, because if we do anything to North Korea, they'll either invade South Korea or launch whatever nuclear weapon they have wherever they can get it to.
Yeah,
Not good.
Which would probably be Japan, right? Like that would be the first thing they'd probably do.
Japan, or God forbid, South Korea. Or I was reading reports several years back that they could hit California.
I heard Hawaii's like fortifying their emergency
Guam, yeah.
plan. Yeah, man.
Guam, Hawaii. And so nothing good can come out of it. It's just part. U.S. foreign policy is interesting. We don't want them to have nuclear weapons, but once they already do. They already do have nuclear weapons, because we know they have a nuclear bomb, but they just can't launch it very far. So the whole thing is, well, you can't test the missiles. Meanwhile, we have the Soviet Union. Russia, United States. We have close to 7,000 nuclear warheads. So I'm not saying that North Korea should have nuclear weapons. I'm saying that what on earth is Trump? There's nothing he can do militarily.
Right.
Absolutely nothing. So you're sending the Navy there for what purpose?
A lot of people don't know much about the Korean War, and I'm not going to say I know a lot about it, but I do know that we killed a lot of Koreans. That I do know. Like, we killed like half the population during the Korean War, man. We really like devastated. So I don't know where, from my understanding now, HA, if you know, correct me, man. My understanding is North Korea, a lot of the populace are the survivors of the Korean conflict. I don't know how it's really split up, like who suffered or who, like, you know what I'm saying? But I was reading an article about it, man, when they were just putting in perspective, like, where some of the tensions come from. I guess if you have war with a company, like, we destroyed like 15 cities, something crazy like that, like a number of cities that we just flattened, like they are no more. So just imagine if someone invaded the United States and got rid of New York, got rid of Chicago, got rid, New York City, got rid of, I don't know, maybe not DC, but got rid of, Newport News, I don't know, like, cities just gone, like, flattened, people dead, and we're talking about half the population. I don't know if it's half the population, but it was a lot of people based on the numbers that I saw.
But what happened was the North invaded the South, and then General MacArthur actually repelled the North Korean advance, kicked them out of Seoul and all the way back to the demilitarized zone, but then all the way very close to the Chinese border. And the Chinese got involved. And then hundreds of thousands of Chinese troops, we were actually fighting Chinese soldiers. And so and then the war became a stalemate until it was eventually from 1950 to 1953, it was an armistice. So technically the war, it's just a ceasefire. It's not, there's no peace. So the way they view it is that they're still at war. North Korea still views it that they're still at war, and they're a communist country, and it's a very much they're stuck in like a time warp because they still are. Their reason for existence is basically having survived that war, that devastating war. But yeah, I mean, I don't really see any. I think what Trump did with the Moab in Afghanistan, very interesting. WikiLeaks brought up the fact that we actually bombed CIA tunnels. So there's a New York Times article that when we were funding and helping the Mujahideen and Bin Laden against the Soviets in the 80s, we helped them build tunnels, or we funded them to build, gave them money to build tunnels and a whole labyrinth and network of, caves and all that to fight the Soviets. Of course, then we eventually started bombing what we helped fund. And that was, WikiLeaks tweeted that out. It was actually a New York Times article that talked about it talked about these tunnels the CIA helped fund and build. Right. The really interesting thing about the Washington Post and New York Times is that you can actually find articles that completely destroy the propaganda eventually that the New York Times and the Washington Post further. So they're very good. They're very good record keepers, but then they just don't know what propaganda from the Democratic Party or Republican Party they're going to try to further. But right. You can look back and find, like, for example, you can even look back in the New York Times. This is shortly after 9/11, and find Hillary Clinton, the New York Times article talking about how Hillary Clinton furthered the myth of Saddam doing 9/11, having something to do with 9/11. So she helped further that myth very, very early on.
It's almost as if it's at one point the Washington Post or the New York Times used to have a soul, like somewhere along the line they decided they had to cave in to the pressure of the Democratic Party, maybe.
Yeah, I mean they used to. Yeah, they broke. Well, Washington Post broke Watergate, and the original WikiLeaks was Daniel Ellsberg, and then the Pentagon Papers. I think it was the Washington Post and New York Times published them. That was like the original, precursor to WikiLeaks, and then WikiLeaks I think took it, became even greater whistleblowers than even Daniel Ellsberg. But yeah, I mean, this is NoSellOuts. They totally sold out. So they totally sold out.
Must be a lot of pressure, man. Something, I don't know, man. I'm starting to believe a lot of people who I come down on about selling out, they're under some pressure that they can't even communicate about. But that's not saying there's an excuse, but there's got to be something behind it. I'm just saying I think there's a little bit more layers to it than just somebody going, we don't want to tell the truth.
There's a lot of money. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of access, money. Yeah. You have to be, because it's not cool to say, hey, this is horrible. This is not what we should be doing. Because then you have think of how many millions of people need the therapy that Russian hacking gives them. It's therapy for them because they are completely distraught and depressed that Trump is president. So when they read the New York Times and Washington Post, but let me ask you this: what did you think of Berkeley? What did you think of the protests in Berkeley?
I thought that the protests in Berkeley, like all of these protests, and I just don't agree with them, man. I don't agree. Yeah. I don't agree with either side. I don't agree that we're actually doing anything, like we're solving any problems by protesting protesting the president. Like, I get it. When we provide political pressure on, say, I don't know, no DAPL, right? When we look at the equity transfer partners, for instance, we're applying pressure. Companies hate bad publicity. You know what I mean? They can't stand it. Look at United Airlines.
I was going to say, I can't wait to fly United. So fill the lovely skies with United. Fly the lovely skies with United.
Right. Like, so companies cave to pressure like that. But I don't see how that's going to make Trump get impeached. I don't see how the people who are anti-Trump, I don't see how this makes Trump get impeached. And for the people that are pro-Trump or whatever, I don't see how you protesting that you like the guy really has any relevance where you want to put yourself in a position where you're fighting other people about your opinion or about your position. I just don't get it, bro. What do you think?
I just think it's absolutely horrible for many reasons. First of all, like you said, it doesn't just not defeat. It doesn't do it. It actually helps Trump in many ways. So it helps Trump because it gives publicity to the most extreme elements And then you have other Trump voters who aren't that extreme defending what took place because you have this group. Well, first, you have the Trump voters there. We would not have known about that Trump rally at Berkeley were it not for the Antifa or the anti-fascist or whatever, the people who confronted the Trump supporters. Now, my philosophy is you confront Trump supporters by ensuring Bernie Sanders isn't cheated. But once Bernie's cheated, then you have a loser in Clinton, then Trump wins. So what's the point? The point, it's kind of like there's no way to defeat Trump unless you're defeating the Democratic establishment.
So HA, are you suggesting that the attention that Antifa and these other protesters against Trump, if they really wanted to make an impact, maybe they should redirect their energies to the DNC, maybe?
Absolutely. If you want to be really revolutionary, you don't trust me. If the Washington Post and New York Times and Slate, if you have Slate and the Daily Beast talking about how great you are not a revolutionary. You are not That's not revolutionary. You are the opposite of that. Don't whatever you do, make sure Slate doesn't defend you. Because if Slate defends you, you are just a tool of the neoliberal establishment. You're doing exactly what the Democratic Party wants because they cheated Bernie and they destroyed all the enthusiasm. So progressives, generally, the ones who want to ban fracking and end wars and all of that, you don't go after people that I would never have heard of. All these different like crew names of right-wing gangs, and I don't even know who these people are. And suddenly they're in the news.
Yeah.
Why are they in the news? Because a bunch of Berkeley protesters fought them. And the thing is, I'm not defending the Trump people, but they were there first. Let them walk and then get tired and go home. Why do you have to, why do you have to fight them? Because this is the funny thing also. They're like, we're fighting the fascists. The best way to fight them is to let them get tired and go home. This way, nobody knows who the hell they are.
I'm telling you, they're making stars. That's a great point, H.A. Goodman, because I didn't really know who Milo Yiannopoulos was. I damn sure didn't know who Richard Spencer was. And now, thanks to all of this, now I know who Nathan D'Amico is. And I didn't need to know another white nationalist guy or whatever. I didn't need to know that. I'd have been just fine not knowing this new guy. And they keep making, it makes me want to go do something. So they'll protest me. Maybe if they start protesting the NoSellOuts, that'll put us on the map and we'll have a show. A show on, on satellite or Sirius or something.
Yeah. But the thing is, people don't get it. They don't get it. It's not when the establishment is talking about you in glowing terms, you're not revolutionary. They're utilizing you. And so, and also, when they say they're anti-fascists, fascists rely on brute force, brutality, punching, kicking, stabbing, all of these things, riots, violence. That's what fascism is, a political system where you have perpetual wars, where you have nationalism, where you merge Wall Street war, nationalism, hatred, but it's all predicated upon violence. Why would you go? You're not going to beat the racism out of these people. That doesn't work like that. Actually, if you punch a Nazi, if you punch a neo-Nazi or a racist, they become more racist. They don't say, gosh, this non-racist person punched all the racism out of me. I'm going to change now. It's not. And I don't know if this is true or not, but the woman who got punched, and that's horrible. You don't ever hit a woman. For sure, you don't ever do that. So that's crazy. And so that crazy guy hit that woman, but at the same time, it's not at the same time, but I don't know if this is apocryphal or if it's a phony Twitter thing, but there was a tweet, and I don't know if it's real or fabricated, but how she said she wanted 100 Nazi scalps. And she was saying how she was frightened, so I don't know if that's real or not, but if it's real, then, oh my God, it undermines everything.
Yeah, I got some pushback on my take, I did a tweet about it, and I'm like saying, "Hey, man, you don't go punching women, sucker punching women in the mouth. I mean,
No.
but I'll say this: like, someone sent me a clip, like right after I sent that tweet, and it was of an Antifa person hitting a guy in the head with with a bicycle lock. I mean, and the bicycle lock's made of like either steel or hard metal. I don't know what it's made of, and it was like boom, thump,
It's like a warped like West Side Story
dude.
reenactment of West Side Story. You don't need this. This is not going to help further the left or the most progressive cause. Violence, and this is another thing. It's like they know that the Democratic Party knows that they cheated Bernie and that they extinguished the flame, and there's no enthusiasm, and all the true progressives hate them. All the true progressives hate the Democratic Party. And they know this, so what they do is they'll utilize the most left-wing students at Berkeley. And I mean, Hillary Clinton was probably laughing and happy with that picture of that poor woman getting punched in the face, because now the DNC can utilize that. Oh, did you see? That's all Trump supporters, even though 53% of white women voted for Trump. So
yeah, it's great propaganda, man. It's a great recruitment tool for the left, and when they beat up like people on the right, it's a great recruitment tool for them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So all you're doing is furthering division. But I know people don't see it that way. They think they're doing something. Actually, they think they're fighting a good fight.
They're not fighting a good fight. They're fighting the fight that the right wants and the fight that the neoliberal establishment wants. And they're bolstering all the wrong people. They're helping all the wrong people. Because at the end of the day, you need to break up banks, reinstate Glass-Steagall, ban fracking, end wars. How about protesting war for once? Is it possible? Can people protest war? It's just only tax returns. I don't give a about his tax returns. They're not going to prove it. So he owns money to Russia. So that means he hacked the DNC. It's complete nonsense.
It is crazy.
It's complete nonsense. So it's just
Hey, look, HA, man, before we get too far, man, let me try to take the first call, man.
Yeah.
We got a 772 number in the queue. 772 number. You're live. Tell us where you're from and what your name is, and then ask your question. Who's this?
Hey, it's Eric from Florida. How's it going?
Hey, what's up,
Eric?
How's it going,
Hey, what's up, Eric? How you doing, brother?
How are you, Eric?
Doing pretty good. Just watching No Sellouts. Very excited. Keep up the good work. Always, guys, keep it real. Thanks again. Appreciate it. But my question to HA?
Yes.
My question to HA is, how long were you a teacher for?
Well, that's a great question, Eric,
Hey,
and
look,
I appreciate.
thank you for the question, Eric. Go ahead and answer, HA, if you can, brother.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate your support greatly. He's an awesome guy. I was a teacher for close to 5 years at Hamilton High School in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And it was a great experience. And I taught U.S. history. And I'm Facebook friends with I would say probably over 100 former students. It was just a great experience. The kids were great. I taught 9th and 11th grade. And it was awesome.
Wow,
Public
man.
school. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, HA, when I first met him and he told me about that, I was really impressed, man. I mean, working with teenagers, and I know it was like a challenge, of course, but also very rewarding, right?
It was very rewarding. You really get a sense of how creative and just I taught in what's called a Communication Arts Academy. So there were different learning academies within the school. And this was an academy of artists. So there were I'd walk by a student and they'd be drawing Spider-Man flying in the sky. Amazing, really. They really the most talented artists. Hamilton High School also had a fantastic music academy. Wow. And so there would be a talent show. I mean, you would see the best dancers, the best singers, the best musicians. It's like unbelievable. It was like America's Got Talent, but like a million times better. But yeah, it was. It was really great. I mean, it was just a wonderful experience. A lot of it's a lot of work. I mean, you have to you got 35 kids sometimes in a classroom. And what I would do is I would just say, if somebody like wouldn't move, or if somebody, had a big issue, I would call their parents in class. So I had, my cell phone on my hip, and just boom, and then you'd have the scantron of the numbers of the parents. So I would call, but they were really good kids. I mean, really, it was a great experience.
Well, look, man, thank you for that question, Eric, and I appreciate it, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Now, I was trying to get back on topic. I don't know, where were we, man? We're talking about Berkeley. We're talking about North Korea. Okay, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little bit about Alex Jones, man. So did you hear? Did you hear Alex Jones is having a custody battle, H.A. Goodman, and his lawyer said, hey, my client's not crazy. He shouldn't lose custody of the kids because he's just a performer. He's a character actor. He's just playing a role on YouTube.
I tell you something. He is wacky, but he is a performance. I mean, it is a character. This is not like Walter Cronkite we're talking about.
Right.
This is a character. And when he takes his shirt off like Putin, or he starts yelling, I don't know how much when he starts talking about the sky falling and all these things, I don't know how much of it is acting, how much he believes, but I mean, there is a lot of performance art to it. I don't know if it's art, but there's a performance to it. So definitely it's like a shtick. It's something that he's doing to kind of get the enthusiasm going on his channel.
I think, and I agree with you, H.A., wholeheartedly, that he does a lot of performance in there. And look, don't get me wrong. I understand there's a bit of salesmanship or performance, I don't know, acting to a certain degree. I mean, you want to communicate your thoughts. I do some of that over the top, like mannerisms. I get pissed off. I use stuff. But I'm not a character.
But, you experience those emotions.
Right.
It's not like you don't exaggerate to the point of being ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's exaggerating, but I tell you, his fan base is very loyal, and they love him. They love him. And it's what it is. There have been so many lies told that a person like Alex Jones, some of the things he said or some of the things that he's done, he plays along with that. So sometimes he's right, but a lot of times he's, fosters crazy theories.
Right.
He's the polar opposite of Loretta Lynch saying that she spoke about golf and Brexit to Bill.
Yeah.
So you have that, and that's accepted. And then you have Alex Jones on the other side of the spectrum. And his mentality is, shoot, if they're going to do that, then I'm going to do my thing and make money.
Man, he's been doing that for a long time, almost a decade. But I'll tell you this, man, you're right. A lot of people do love what he does. Also, they're trying to shut him down. It's like, don't get me twisted. I believe that Alex Jones is getting bigger and bigger, and I don't think the powers that be really want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you start getting to a certain level and they're unable to control your messaging. So I believe there's a little bit of that in there too, H.A., where people want to knock him down because he's starting to really take over. He's getting really big. I mean, he's competing with the media darlings, TYT. All right? So, establishment media, like, okay, so let's admit, TYT is closer to CNN and MSNBC than Alex Jones is.
Yes.
So
yes.
Like Alex Jones is like in the Fox News realm, and they want to keep that stuff tamped down on it. And these guys are having a hell of a run right now. I mean, the right is running away with it right now. And I hear people talking about, no, they're not. Yes, they are, or they were. And I think that's part of the backlash, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. And the reason that the right is running away with it is because they actually attack each other. People don't understand this. It's good to attack your own base. If you see hypocrisy on the left attack it. But if you do attack it, you get Joan Walsh, which is what she did to me, said, oh, his article's ridiculous. Oh, don't let him. Joan Walsh went to people at Salon and said, don't publish H.A. Goodman. Or, Daily Beast runs a hit piece on me. Guy calls me out of the blue. You should have seen the way this quote unquote journalist was. Oh, so nice. Emailed me, so nice, but I knew he was going to write a hit piece, so I didn't talk to him. Then, of course, he wrote his hit piece. but the thing is, there's a cult on the left, and it's a neoliberal cult. And it's really like a Scientology type thing where if you're not down with all the euphemisms, and if you're not down with all the groupthink around Hillary Clinton or the Democratic Party, or if you dare to say, I don't care if Trump wins, I'm not voting for somebody who is a warmonger like a centrist Democrat, they will descend upon you. The thing with Alex Jones is that Trump was elected because of the not just Alex Jones, but because of the more independent, Tea Party Alex Jones. It's not just alt-right.
Grassroots
yeah,
on the right.
It's not just alt-right, because I've met black people who listen to Alex Jones, who love Alex Jones.
Yeah.
So, and
very true.
It's people don't understand. If you read Slate, your Daily Beast, your whole life, you're not going to get it, and you're going to lose again, because that's the thing. There's a bunch of pretty intelligent people to the right. I don't know if they're alt-right, but Alex Jones type, maybe right wing or conservative people on YouTube, and they have so much to work with because the left is so hypocritical.
Yeah, they just keep pumping out content. All you got to do is cut on MSNBC or cut on CNN and just counter it. Keep countering it. It's not so easy for us guys on this. Like I don't know if you consider me left anymore. I don't know what I am. I'm just Tim Black, but
exactly. And you know what? I think you and I both. I'm certainly stuck in this, although I don't think you're as stuck as I am in this, because I go after the left, but I'm progressive in terms of what I want for policies,
right.
Which is why I have my channel is, if you dislike the Democratic Party, watch my channel, because that's all my channel is. That's all I do.
Hey, look, let me try to grab the 205 number, bring them in. 205, you're live with Tim Black and H.A. Goodman. Do you have a question for H.A. or Tim Black?
Hello?
Hey, you're live with Tim Black and H.A. Goodman. Who's this?
Oh, hey. Can you hear? This is Stephanie from Tennessee.
Hey, Steph, what's up, lady? You got a question for H.A.?
Oh, good. You can't hear
Hi,
me.
Stephanie.
Hey, H.A. A question. I was more having a statement about earlier with Alex Jones, but okay, so it's question time.
Either that. No, go ahead with your
statement. I wanted to add to
statement.
the Alex Jones thing, but I didn't really think of a particular question. What does he think about? Okay, I got a question. What does he think about this whole thing with Trump starting to do the whole same war policy that Hillary did? And does he, because I leave comments for him all the time, does he still think I'm crazy for saying they'd end up doing the same thing?
No, look, can I tell you?
Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie, I think you're probably right, and I was wrong, that I thought Trump would be less insane, but he's just as insane. So, Stephanie, you were right. I don't think that he'll engage in regime change. Like I think that Clinton would really, really want regime change somewhere. If she couldn't get Syria, she'd find some other place just to get to topple some kind of dictator. But no, I mean, you were right, Stephanie. They're definitely he's turning out to be the same. We'll see what else he does. I'm very much against the Moab in Afghanistan. Very much against
Syria.
Bombing Syria.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thrilled with the Navy heading towards. I think also a lot of it is what's dangerous is that every time he's going to get into trouble domestically, he'll reach for the militancy. So, but no, I mean, he's shown that he is just as hawkish, or he's shown that he's almost as hawkish as Clinton, or just as. We'll see. We'll see what happens the next 3 years.
Yeah,
I think that
it's really tough, HA, man, not to cut off. It's really tough, man, because you had one candidate saying, hey, I want a no-fly zone over Syria, and you got somebody else saying, hey, I'm not going to mess with Syria. And it's like with both, you end up with the same thing, but what are you going to go with? Like, HA and I, neither one of us voted for Trump, but it's like, one's telling you more than likely, I'm going to bomb the hell out of Syria some more, right?
Yeah.
Some more.
Yeah.
And the other guy saying he won't. So you choose the guy if you chose the guy who said he wouldn't and he did, it's like it's really tough because Democrats or liberals are going, see, he did it too. And it's like,
exactly.
People didn't want that though. People still don't want it. Like the majority of the country doesn't want, Trump supporters don't want us in Syria. They want us to bring our troops home. They don't want regime change. So either way, the people are screwed.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, the people are screwed. And the thing that there are Democrats or I'm with her voters, and they say, you see, we could have had the same militancy, but with better EPA standards. And that is exactly why I voted for Jill Stein. That mentality, because they don't understand that it's not about having the same militancy, but then with a lot of policies that you do like as a liberal. It's about not having that at all. You can't have two parties merge into one. But Stephanie was right. I mean, I probably underestimated the fact that he would be very hawkish. But that's still, I mean, ultimately for the I'm with her voters who are against all of us, a lot of the people on Twitter, they just don't understand, like the Neera Tandons or Howard Deans of the world. They don't get that Hillary Clinton was advised by neocons, and she has a neoconservative foreign policy, and that can't happen in the Democratic Party. So
there's like a video or a picture or something of Hillary like tongue kissing Kissinger or something, man. This horrible warmongering, slaughterer, war criminal of the planet, like probably one of the most, I don't know, evil men in existence or ever born, like at least in the last 100 years or so. I mean, this guy's horrible. And liberals didn't care. They're like, well, hey, sometimes you got to kiss a guy who brutalizes and mass kills people. I don't know. I mean, it's okay with us. So, like, nah, we should reject that.
Exactly.
We should reject them both, actually.
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I like the rhythm of these phone calls. Let me try 770 and see who this is. 770. You're live with Tim Black and HA. Who's this?
Hey, Tim. This is Dave from Stone Mountain. How are you?
Dave from Stone Mountain, man. My guy. How you doing, brother? Good to have you. I got HA Goodman here tonight. HA. Dave, you got a question for HA?
Yeah. I couldn't throw away the chance to actually call up and say hello to HA and thank him for all his good work. And
thank you.
I do have a question for him. I know he's spent a lot of time writing and spending time with a lot of different politicians. He's got a lot of experience being around them. And my question to him is, what would you tell the person at home who wants to run for office, who actually wants to go out and replace some of these idiots, who does not think they're qualified or that they can do it, but who actually has the intelligence and the moral wherewithal to do the job correctly? What advice would you give to that person, knowing what you know about other politicians and how they work to actually get them to drive down to the election office and sign up?
Wow.
Well, that's an awesome question, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. We appreciate you, man. I love that question, bro.
That's a great question. I would say first off, Sam Ronan and Kenneth Mejia, two examples. And then you have a couple other examples that come to mind. But you first start off with bold messages. So whatever ideas that you have, whether it's something that Bernie inspired you to do, or breaking up banks, or banning fracking, or reinstating Glass-Steagall, or ending wars. There's no anti-war movement. I would say champion causes that will get the average person to donate $20, $15, $10, $5. You start a Patreon account like I started today. And notice my plug, Tim.
It's all good, man.
Straight to my Patreon. No,
perfect.
But no, I'm joking. But no, politicians today, if you don't sell your soul to the Democratic or Republican parties, the only way to, I think, make money and to publicize who you are is like Tim Canova, for example. He went after Debbie Wasserman Schultz, but she was so entrenched. And I hope Tim Canova runs again, and hopefully I'll be interviewing him soon for Counterpropo. But number one, start a social media campaign, Facebook, Twitter, other forms of social media based on bold, if you're progressive, let's say, bold progressive ideas. Then network throughout where you live and find a way to get into a debate, whether it's a congressional debate, or find out what you have to do. Because I think that, Sam Ronan was a great story. He wasn't invited on the CNN didn't give him a platform, but eventually he was on, right?
Yeah.
He was on the CNN platform. So, and then Kenneth Mejia was a Green Party candidate in California. And he didn't win, but he did drum up a lot of enthusiasm. I think also one thing to remember is that you might not win the first time, but Richard Nixon, for example, took 3-4 times of, not the best example.
Right. But still.
But definitely pick bold ideas, start a social media campaign, make sure you can get money from the average person, and just go from there. Find out how you get on the debate stage. Find out what you need to accomplish in order to truly compete with the Democrat or Republican. But then there's, if you just want to become, and this is not a bad thing, if you want to just go the Democratic Party route, you can, become part of the system. I'm not saying that a person shouldn't, let's say, but you can become part of the system. And that's actually an easier way to go because you don't have to start new.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's great. I think, don't just look at it as about winning. Just imagine I look at it like a baton race, right? So when you run, whether you run as a Democrat or whether you run as a Green Party member or as an independent, however you run, the enthusiasm and the energy that you create from it, that extends and ripples out to other people. So you can still win and not win by creating this energy that inspires other people to run. Like, I've had both Kenneth and Sam on the show. In fact, Sam's got an event in New York. I don't think I'm going to be able to be there just due to logistics and due to all the YouTube demonetization. We just don't have it right now for me to travel to New York and back and take the time off and do the thing. But it's a Get Money Out of Politics event. And him running has aided him to do other things that are very important to progressive issues and to causes that we care about, right? And he ran as a Democrat, and he still stood for something, and he's got, now he's able to do other things. So I know you asked HA, but I just want to tell people it's not all about winning that seat. It's about getting in the ring. It's about bringing awareness to whatever you care about, and then keep going back at it and keep doing it, because that's so valuable, man. That's so valuable.
It doesn't matter if you lose the first or even the second time. Yeah. Just keep on every election. Keep on going. You might win the first time, but keep going. Don't ever give up.
H.A. Goodman, man, tell everybody about because I finally talked H.A. into creating a Patreon. Right? Yeah, because I told him, H.A., man, you need have the community help fund what you do. The people love H.A. Don't you guys love H.A. Goodman? Come on, guys.
Well, I love everybody here and NoSellOuts and you, Tim, and I appreciate everything. Yeah, I mean, I basically have a Patreon account now. It's in the description of my YouTube channel, so I will could talk about it. I mean, in the beginning of my wonderful intro that people love. People hate my intro, Tim. But
no, that's you got a great. You got a great. I like your intro, HA, because people remember it. So that's all that matters, dude. Like people remember HA's intro. That's all that matters, dude.
And so I have a Patreon now, and so that's good. And with the demonetization, Tim, how good does it feel to get the first? It's we can't monetize your video, but you can request a review, and then you review it, and you're like, oh, when are they gonna tell me? And then 2 days later, they're like, we reviewed it, and guess what? You ain't getting no money. And so they deny. And don't talk about Syria. That's what every time I say Syria or Saudi Arabia or Al Qaeda or ISIS, suddenly it's not advertising friendly. No. So, but I'm still gonna. You have to talk about what's going on, but I don't know why.
Like we have to really like thread the needle on getting our content to make a quarter off of it. Like it's really hard, man. So I don't think people realize it. But with the trick, HA, well, I don't know if it's a trick, and I know they're listening. Damn it, you can't use the tags. Right, you cannot use the tags. Don't put Syria in the title. Don't put Moab in the title or
Moab. Moab, forget it. Gosh. If you have a Moab, you're gonna get no money with the Moab. No money.
It doesn't even matter if you're saying what you know. Even if you're on the side that they want you to be on, doesn't matter. Like it's just the fact you mentioned it.
Yeah. And you know what? I even think they take it to the next level where if you say die or killed, so I use words like perished.
Yeah.
I try to find some way to try to explain. But yeah, I think they're going to go back. I think YouTube is actually going to go back eventually to allowing more freedom because YouTube is losing a lot of money from this. There are channels with hundreds of thousands, millions of people.
Yeah.
And I don't see how YouTube benefits financially from this. I really don't.
It's crazy. It is crazy, man. We're about to look, man. Unfortunately, guys, we got calls in the queue, man.
You want to let's take one more.
Let's take one more, man. I'm going based on amount of time in the queue, guys, and we're gonna do this now more often here on this show, which is something we decided to go to. Hey, 231, you're live with Tim Black and H.A. Goodman. Who's this?
Hey, this is Curtis. What's up, you guys?
Hey, we're good, man. What's going on, Curtis, man?
Pretty good. Long-time fan. I've been listening to both of you guys for a while. Couple of questions, couple of issues. First,
pick one of them. No. We're really short on time, man. Pick your best. Pick your best one.
All right, first one, or the only one. I saw a tweet today by Nomiki Khan saying that she believes that Tom Perez can be converted into a democratic socialist, and I was wondering if you guys could provide your thoughts on that.
Wow, what's your name?
One, guys.
Hey, man,
thank you.
Hey, thank you, brother. Give it up. I think you said Chris.
Chris.
You said Chris. Hey, thank you for the question, Chris. That's a great question to go out on, man. Wow, HA, man. Look, you the guest, man, so I got to ask you first, man. What do you think about what Chris said? Nomiki says Tom Perez is going to be a socialist.
I'm a big fan of Nomiki Konst, and I think she's great. And I guess in my humble view, I don't think that Tom Perez can be converted. I think that the DNC is manipulating everything. I think that they're taking advantage of Bernie and Keith Ellison, and I think that the DNC wants to just drum up support. I ultimately think that what Bernie is doing is not good for him, although I don't really say it in my channel. I'm not going to write about it. But I don't think Bernie is doing something good for him or for the party. Forget about the party. I don't think what he's doing, propping up the Democratic Party, will ultimately help his movement or the political revolution. I think that the Howard Deans, the Joyanne Reid, the Neera Tanden, the Jennifer Palmieri, the Hillary Clintons, Chelsea Clintons, they run the show still. And they're going to run the show. And you could just see what took place with Tulsi Gabbard. She did something extremely heroic, and went to Syria, tried to find some kind of deal that didn't involve American soldiers dying and more Syrians dying because of us. And you saw the Daily Beast was after, Washington Post was after. The machine lost to Trump, but the machine is not going to lose to Bernie unless Bernie says, no, I'm going to take a stand. I'm not going to I'm not going to play the game anymore. So I don't know. I think that they're playing all of us, including Bernie.
Yeah, I got to agree with my man H.A. Goodman, man, because Tom Perez is an establishment creature. That's what he is. Yeah. He served in the Obama administration.
Yeah.
He's not an outsider. He doesn't think like an outsider. He's going to toe the line. And I think what Nomiki's doing, and like H.A. said, man, Nomiki's a friend of mine. I disagree with the idea that Tom can be converted, because this has to be who you already are. Like, you have to believe in certain things. That's what makes a person a conservative or a liberal or progressive or whatever. These are just what you believe. Can his ideology change? Can what he believes in change? Can his idea that status quo change? He would have to fundamentally, he'd have to hit his head, catch amnesia, wake up, not know anything, and wow, it's I feel different. All of a sudden, I love people, and I want to work with the millennials, the dumb young people. I want to work with the dumb young people. Keith Ellison, come here and sit down, you little fat bastard. Come on,
Tim. Did you see Chelsea Clinton on Twitter? This is hilarious. So
I tried not to. No, I didn't.
Yeah. Trump did something stupid as usual, and he said he didn't remember where he bombed. And then Chelsea Clinton said, "Can you believe he didn't remember where he bombed?" And then I put on Twitter, I said something like, "Yeah, Hillary would know exactly where she bombed." And then I put a link to the neoconservatives raising money for Hillary. But they don't understand. Like, Hillary, yes, she would know exactly where she bombed, and she would do it often. She would know all the places. But yeah, you are who you are. I don't think that. See, it's right. It's right in front of us. The roadmap is right in front of us. We have either Tulsi Gabbard, Nina Turner, or Bernie Sanders, and anyone else, I'm voting green.
There it is.
You better not. If they cheat Bernie, Tulsi, or Nina, then I'm voting green. That's it,
man.
And if Trump wins again, this is the funny thing. If people try to on Twitter, you brought us Trump. I'm like, then listen to me. If you don't listen, you're gonna get more Trump. So
you're gonna OD on Trump if you keep it up. If you don't listen to the people that's just telling you what's going down. Okay, so if you think I'm psychic, well, listen to this. Do what I say now, or you're really gonna feel some pain. I'm trying to tell you, since I'm so I'm all knowing. You know what I mean? Follow me. Follow my advice. Hey, look, H.A., man, it's that time, bro. I know how you got to do it this time of day. But, H.A., any closing words? Tell people where to go to find out more or whatever.
Well, I just want to thank everybody who called up. The questions were awesome, and I just really appreciate everybody calling up and everybody watching this show. And go to H.A. Goodman on YouTube. There's an H.A. Goodman Patreon, and then, of course, there's counterpropa.com. And, Tim, you have a wonderful week, and it was amazing as always.
Always, man. Nice new dynamics to the show. Thank you so much for hanging out, man.
Love it.
No doubt.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
Got it, brother. Give it up for H.A. Goodman. Booyah. Man. H.A., man, that was a great show. And it was great, man. Look, guys, that's a new thing. We're going to do this more often. H.A. just like, hey, man, what if we took calls? I'm like, hey, yeah, what if we took calls? We can take, whatever, But actually, it was let's do some chat. So let's work within the chat. But I want you to be able to ask the questions. You know what I mean? So we'll move between chat and we'll move between asking questions on, the phone line, man. Look, I think that I know that Bernie Sanders and Tom Perez are going to be making a tour. And I'm going to cover this in a new video where they're going to be doing this, and they'll go around trying to unify the Democrats, the left with the left or something, or the middle right or the middle left with the far left or whatever they're trying to do. So I understand the concept of it, but it's all about policies and not lip service to policies. It's about actions. And for me, it just doesn't go far enough. All right? It just doesn't go far enough. And I'm beginning to feel like that's the whole purpose of Bernie being around, is to do that. Because they don't really want Bernie to have any power. And I understand they're saying, well, Bernie's not a Democrat. He's an independent. I don't care what the name tag is. The guy has the influence with the people you want to influence, right? With the people who resonate with his message. That should be all you care about. But too many of the corporate liberals, corporate Democrats, or the liberal-minded folks who are under the Democratic umbrella, they feel like, well, since Bernie's not a D in front of his name, then we don't want to give him any support. Case in point, Kansas, right? When in Kansas where they could have won, the DNC didn't want to give any money, but they're giving money out in Georgia, right? So because the guy in Georgia running, I forget his name, Olsen or something, he's more along the lines of the kind of politics they want, which is more Hillary Clinton-ish, more neoliberal type policies or what have you. And the guy that was in Kansas was more progressive. They don't want that. And so I think that's all very telling about where the party really is, man. And I think that we see through it. And I think more people are going to see through it if we keep the word up. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. Man, big shout out to H.A. Goodman. Big time show. Tomorrow, I'm going to have my friend Ed Higgins here tomorrow. Ed Higgins from Activate Now. Activate. We're gonna come on the show and we're gonna recap his time at Standing Rock and all the exciting, powerful work he's been doing in the trenches and tell some stories and just kick it. And this will be him, welcome him back to the channel, which is really cool. Also, guys, I'm gonna be teaming up with my friend Mike Figueredo on the Humanist Report. I'm going to do a video with him. He's going to do a video with me. We're going to have a part A and a part B. So that's going to be great. We're going to be doing that. We'll be taping it tomorrow. So I'm going to really be working my ass off. I believe in what I'm doing. Just like H.A. Goodman, we're a great team because we both put in the work. Our output speaks for itself. We're not asking for your help. Meanwhile, we're sitting around sleeping and chilling. No, we're working. So support H.A. Goodman. I put a link up in here. Go to his channel. Subscribe to him. Hook up with him. Hook up with Mike, the Humanist Report. He's also grinding as much time as possible because I think he's still in school. I'm not sure. But we're all grinding, guys, to give you the best information available and to give you our take, which is not brought or sponsored by anyone. We speak what's on our minds, and that's what we do. All right? So, shout out to everybody out there, all my callers once again. Thank you for making the show very successful, a new way to do this. Shout out to all the supporters, guys. We appreciate you. And with that, I will see you on the next show. Peace. Hope I remembered everything. Did I remember everything? Oh, shout out to Celeste Ma Christie, Uncle Ron in the house, Troy Milkos, Troy Miklos, Jay Bird, love you back, Darren Alivi. Hey, thank you, Jay Bird, for the 5. Thank you, man, for the super chat donation, Jay Bird. I appreciate you. You got it. Deb Lou's talking about pancakes. Baby, don't you know how we do it?
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
We do cornbread over here, Deb Lou. Angel Tibbs. What's going on? Springfield Progressive. J.M. Clinton. That's it. Darren Alivi. Darren, what's up, Darren? How you doing, man? The whole crew. Julie, Roseanne Mortarana. You, Christine, Ulrike, Christine. You got it. Froze Toes in the house. Hey, hon. Everybody, man, I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. We're going to keep grinding out. We're going to keep doing it. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow to check out Ed Higgins. He's going to have some stories from the field. Peace.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am.